Like that shower, Mike, is exactly as risky as...
I'm sorry for standing in my seat.
You right on that? Go again. But certainly this mile is the easiest mile in the course, in my opinion. This is his home area. He lives in this area, so the clouds are really big, and he's really turning it on. Going downhill to here next to the Bermuda Cross Rapids Association, Mike. So let's go back real quick. Yeah. It's certainly up to appeal.
10:38.
Let's go back to Cal with me to do Cal Thomas.
10:38.
Hey Mike, how you doing, man? Yeah, we got three. Your boy Shirley dropping for us. Jay Smith looks like comfortable. Emily Glass looks good. And James O'Shea is good across now. So they're a couple minutes behind you guys, but they look quite comfortable going in. The far down by Whitney is dirty. We got these drum lines going on over here. So there's a whole lot of them coming up over the hill now. They look very comfortable. Number 317, he's looking quite good. You know what I mean? And it's a good race. He number 6. So I mean, it looks like one of the young runners, right? And my Dennis very close. No, these guys are looking good. They're looking very comfortable, man. Let me go back to you, Mike, and I'll pick up a couple more runners as they come up over the hill. Thank you very much, Cal. Yeah, somebody grabbed his body here for his just ever finish. Like I said, he's complete great run, but he's going to have to put his head down to get Chase and also Sean Cross. 47, just over 48 minutes, and Mike will be looking. Go ahead. A person in the nice time is 48. 48. 48-20 at mile number 9 for Lamont Marshall. 48-20. So you can imagine what it's like here. Yeah, you know. Again, a fast mile.
You ever talk to a teenager?
Yeah, right? But remember, we had that climb going up over the radio station there, and then after that it was got a bit easier running down through town. But the rhythm is very fast right now. He looks like a 5,000 meter runner right now. I think that Lamont finish strong, Ian! Finish strong! Two Hamilton, incline, I think he's too so under what he's averaging, which is about an hour and 14 minutes. It's Lamont looking good as we approach Genesis Church, and this is the test, Mike, between here and Bermuda Broadcast Company. This starts right here. And listen to the crossfit. Mike, the thing I find interesting is the sun is just coming out, so he's in his way. So the only thing is the sun is going to give him a little test between him and the finish line. So he's looking real good. Mike, you may need to look at a commercial right now, but he's certainly looking real good. Thank you very much. He's on champion, Michael. It's giving me my key, so let's go back to the station, face of the field, and we'll be back with real life coverage.
That's what I need.
Bermuda Half Marathon Derby.
It's almost that time of year again, barbecue season. For some, it never really went away, but the summer weather will bring out the grill master and barbecue owners on a ride, and this special is for you. We're featuring Open Pit Barbecue Sauce with a wide range of styles and flavors. Open Pit has been developing their authentic product range since the 50s. This month, try their new quick and tangy and quick and sweet style barbecue sauces. Each one will bring something unique to the grill. Lindo's, why anyplace else?
Enjoy huge savings during Neighborhood Appreciation Day at Pioneer Pharmacy with 20% off the store-wide savings. 30 sampling giveaway Appreciation Day at the Pharmacy, Wednesday, May 29th from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Get 20% off store-wide for one day only. It's our way of saying thank you. Terms apply. See your store for details. The Phoenix Stores. For a better life.
You are listening to coverage of the Bermuda Half Marathon Derby. We now rejoin for the vehicle with Mike Sharp and Mike Watson.
Thank you very much, David. As you know, we can go back 51-47, and as Mike Watson said just now, the sun is up on Lamont Marshall until the ninth mile. He's now in the greatest incline of Gideon, and the sun is up, but he's still tackling the hills here. He's near the garden patch here, and he's up to 5209, Mike. But into the next is real quickly, every 4 out of the King former champion after 8 times the bridesmaid, he was standing in the corner. He's probably saying, oh, it's nice to be watching from the side. Yeah, but you know, as a runner, you always wish it was you out front, you know. But certainly, I'm sure Jay is enjoying his time. Now we can look at him as a winner. Cal, let's see what's going on down in the stretch there. Hey, Mike, thank you very much, man. I've just seen the Thunder cross looking pretty good. We had Damon Mingo cross looking comfortable for 4 or 5 runners. I think the first junior runner right out of it just made cross a few minutes ago. So those guys are looking pretty good. Also, we have Alex Barton and the first female just come through Whitney. Paulie is looking very comfortable heading up the road. So it's getting exciting conversation. Most folks are coming in. And I'll get a couple more minutes and come back to you in a few minutes. Thank you very much. Let's now go over to Donna Wayne.
Yes, we're going to just come up over here as Sal said. Her son came out. She had a moment chat. That was so cute. But she's looking fantastic. And as I said, there is no other woman in sight. Just to be counted to tell us we're the second right here, because we don't see anyone at all. And Michael, your son is looking fantastic.
No, boy. Wondering when that's going to happen. Just knock over the phone.
We got 2 Michaels up here, and Michael is running. But we understand what the thing is. Lamont Marshall is now over 2 spots.
You were way ahead of everybody. It's like, I mean, last year, Tommy, when he won, had a good distance. Yeah, but like, between you and second place, huge difference.
Or Martino, Chelsky Bell, or Dion, or Krista.
This is Don Burgess. I'm here with Kazai Seeley, who won the Heritage Day Classic race. Kazai, what was the conditions out there for you? I see you worked up a good sweat.
Yeah. Well, I was just coming out here trying to get a first place. I wasn't really looking for time, but I got to the barricades. I didn't really see anyone behind me, so I decided to go for it.
I heard people commenting that you were really out there flying. What do you think was the difference between this year and last year in your time?
This year I was just looking to win. I had strong hopes of winning, so I just had that mentality of winning this year. I didn't run I ran a relay last year, but the last time I ran, I was just looking to get a good time, and I wasn't at the top of my age group then. I'm at the top of my age group now, so it was really a great experience winning this, and I look forward to running next year in the Heritage Day half marathon and getting a good place as well.
For a junior runner like yourself, when you're out there, what's it like to have the crowds cheering you on as you run along the streets?
It's great. It's good to see that people are supporting the youth of Bermuda in track and field. So I was just looking at my friends and my family, and they were just boosting me on the hill race.
You want to give a shout out to somebody in your family or to your school?
I'd like to shout out to all my friends at Barkley Institute, my friends and family that were cheering me on during the race, and yeah, everyone else that supported me.
All right. Thank you, Kazai. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's the only person that we've seen so far.
Okay, thank you very much, Donna. Cal, keep each other on there. We're going to be coming back to you looking for that split between Rosanna Howard, Holly, and the next runner. 56-12. And earlier in the race, we mentioned that Lamont Marshall, barring any unforeseen circumstances, was only 5 others. Now we'll tell you who they are. Terrence Armstrong with 3 wins, 2004, 5, and 6. So that was a 3-peat for him. Tony Ryan, 3 wins. And also we have way back, Victor Hollis with 3 wins, 1941, 44, and 1945. Then we had Kenneth Casper with 3 wins. And Joe Thompson with 3 wins in 1925, 1926, and 1927. So Lamont Marshall is on the verge of joining a very unique group. And there's some great runners with great wins as we approach the foot of the lane here. And when I say great other runners, Mike Watson here next to me, 4 wins. Cal Bean, 5 wins. Cal Hensley, 4 wins. Excel 6 wins. Arthur Lambert, 6 wins. Sir Stanley Burgess, 6 wins here. We've had some great runners. Tommy Smith has 2 wins along with Tyler Butterfield and Tracy Wright.
Robert Simons.
Awesome runners over the years.
Robert Simons, your attention is needed. Can you meet us over by the softball diamond?
Just under 1 hour.
Norbert Simons, can you identify yourself and meet Curtis Smith over by the baseball diamond?
Well, I have to run in a hot now, having to climb up to the radio station hill, I call it. He's now got all downhill, so I look for this to be certainly a mile he either can recover or he can dig in and run a fast mile, but it's all downhill and flat from here on until we start to go up Church Street. Thank you very much, Mike. Let's go quickly back down to the Whitney area with Cal County. Hey, Mike, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, actually, they're only about 45 seconds apart between Dion and Tina. Dion was very comfortable, you know. But Tina Powell was right behind Dion, so they're still going to battle all the way to the end. So, the second event was very really good. But they both look very comfortable. They really, really look comfortable good. To be interested how they handle the heel going up towards Bermuda Broadcast. And yeah, let's go back to the mic and people look up the front.
This was him. This was him.
I guess they just wanted to finish the game.
Oh, okay.
To shake hands.
Is it done? I'm thinking.
That's what I'm doing. Hillbilly? You're right. And as he comes along Front Street, and this is one area. I don't care how tired you are, they'll lift you up and keep you moving. But he certainly looks.
So you had ace point
I would say, Mike, he looks to be, he is just a center with a recovery bar. Because he's not pushing it, he looks to be relaxed. And I wouldn't say slowing down, but he's certainly not surging ahead. As he approaches the
I made it, Tony. All right, Mr. Casey.
59.43. You'll have to work with that pace wood. But he's certainly looking good. 11 miles in under 1 hour, that's a pretty good time. He just certainly finished faster than he came out of Somerset last year. Thank you very much, Mike. 59 minutes, 47 seconds at the 11-mile mark. So he's got 2.1 miles, and he's averaging around.
This guy should be here soon.
That last mile was a 5:10. So that was a pretty fast mile. And like I said, so that downhill and flat, he didn't look like he was working hard, but he certainly ran a pretty fast mile.
Sean was.
Yeah, Mike, he mentioned that he runs 105 overseas. But here in Bermuda, 110, 110, 109, 111. That's a pretty
I give him another 2 years.
Round, you know, it's preparation. Bottom line. Then you look at his 5,000 meter time. I mean, he keeps breaking the real record. It's that type of speed, up 15.
that he can't run, you know, at least sub 110. I mean, maybe he can put Sean Harris as a junior ran sub 110, the same reason Lamont can't do it. I don't know if the team who represented him a little bit for a couple of years, but these crowds in Hamilton really deep, deep, 4 or 5 deep here on Front Street. And look at the cadence of Lamont. He's got pictures of him on. Very good. It's still not too on Front Street. Where you have pretty impressed with the tent and the layout here and the people. It looks so well organized, so neat. Everybody's done such a great job preparing their tent. And of course, people are running out, cheering at my door. They're trying to be very topical about it, though, which is great. Apparently giving his Fanny a prayer so he can get on all down to City 1. But certainly, he doesn't look like his face has yielded. Thank you very much, Mike. 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 19 seconds. Lamont Rush to himself. Please, the next quickly go back to Dallas Simon to the rookie. Hey, yeah, thanks, Mike, right here. I'm coming through fast and furious right now. Just had Wilkinson Millport. We've also had the one Sunday there. Look here, the outfit was pretty comfortable during this week. Frank Daniels looked pretty good. See that Johnson looked pretty good. There's a hurdle right up and coming up the hill now. Everybody's going towards the shade there, Mike. I can show you. The wall running on the left-hand side. Randy Bay right through the shade too. Yeah, this side is looking really comfortable in, and I tell you right now, the shade to the left-hand side of the road, trying to stay the shade as much as they possibly can. Yeah, back to you, Mike, but the crowd is gathered here with you, and it's I mean, sometimes not there, man. It's really good. The drums are doing, get very good, and it's good. It's good. Thank you very much, Mr. Pacer. We're going to break for another word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with small night coverage of the winner losing in tank, the weekly half marathon derby.
Don't let those hurricane moments ruin your summer mood. If you have a standby, your pool, but your fridge pool too. BAC Universal Electric has a wide range of generators to suit your needs. So come to the showroom on Mitzi Lane in Pembroke and keep your power on. BAC Universal Electric. Call us on 292-5372 or visit universal.pm for more information.
JBM Realty and Associates services all your real estate needs. Our agents have years of real estate experience specializing in selling of properties, renting of properties, property management, vacation rentals.
I'm here with Legend Stevenson. She was second overall, but first in her age group. Congratulations, Legend. How was it out there for you today?
It was tough, but I managed to get through it. It was also like very shocking that I won.
How many times have you run this race before, and what do you think is the toughest part of the course?
Well, the hills definitely when you come by the fire station, and I've done it for, I think this is my 3rd year.
What made you decide to get into running and to do this race?
Well, I'm a runner. I go to DNA Track Club, and I just do all the races that probably come up.
And what's your favorite race besides this one? Because this is obviously your favorite.
So my favorite, I would have to say is, I'm not sure.
You're not sure? What made you decide to get into running in the beginning?
Well, when I was at my school, I came first, so I'm like, oh, I'm a runner now. So so I just started to run.
And which school do you go to, and what grade are you in?
West End Primary.
Thank you, Legend.
Yeah.
Just like a while ago, and if he's been Kansas in 5 minutes, then that's certainly just over 110. So he better his PB by maybe 4 minutes, and that's a whopping improvement. I think he's actually run a 112, so even 2 minutes is a whopping improvement. Kevin's fifth rating was a corner at the top of King Street as the fix the tire. Cheers to my door. It's always nice to see the former winners. Cheers to 2 winners won. And we're now on Victoria. Still good crowd. Once again, we take a peek at the living clock. 106:24. Lamont Marshall only strides away from a historic third victory in this Bermuda marathon.
Say it all together.
Maybe nobody personally allowed him to relax and do his surgery like he did at the Hills. And he's well on his way for personal best. Like I said, when you're running by yourself, what you see definitely happens. Your confidence, it gets stronger and stronger. And so the only thing you can
I'm here with Catherine Bean Rosario. She was the first overall girl runner today. Catherine, it looked like right at the end it really pushed you a bit. How would you describe the race?
I would describe a tough race, but I had to think through it and had to finish my race score.
Did you have any sort of race plan before today, and how did you execute it?
Well, I did have a race plan, but I've also been training every weekend, and I've been at the track a lot, so it actually helped me to win today.
What was your best finish before today, and how did doing any of the previous races help you for today's race, knowing what was coming? How many times have you done the race before, and how did that help train you for this race?
Well, I've done races a lot, but I think training is really good for you because it helps you a lot. And I just wanted to say thank you to my coaches as well, because if I didn't have them, I wouldn't have won today as well.
And which school do you go to? Do you want to give a shout out to your class and your school?
Sure. I go to Ian Tatum, and I'm at Whitney now. So, hi guys.
All
right. Thank you, Catherine. Congratulations again.
Please cut out the
when you certainly feel like somebody's poured a bucket of water on your head. The crowd is safe. They're certainly liking the atmosphere. One lady was even racing with it. I don't know the secret.
I'm here with Sports Minister Levita Fogo. Levita, how are you enjoying the day so far?
So far, so good. I had an early start, went down to the square at about 7 o'clock, tried to catch some of the early arrivals, runners as well as bikers, and milled around on the square. Just enjoyed all of the energy that was down there, and had opportunity to talk with some of the runners, some of the older runners, like Mike Watson himself, my neighbor who I grew up with, and his son, and a few others. Took pictures with the Carifta group, and in fact one of the Carifta runners was the junior winner today in the running event, and so had opportunity to speak with him, and he's told me his game plan for going forward and trying to make certain that come Carifta 2020 he wins the gold for Bermuda. So
I know Carifta 2020, we've got several runners out there today who's wearing special jerseys. How are you hoping this helps build excitement for that for next year?
Well, I said earlier, and I'll say it again, that the half marathon derby and Bermuda Day is almost like the Olympics of Bermuda. And everybody comes out for the runners, they come out for the cyclists because that is an event now, the junior participants, and of course for the parade. And so using this as a marker to start their game plan for 2020 is a good idea and a great thing. And I think that winning this event in particular for the young man is giving him the impetus to want to train every day according to him and make certain that he'll make his mark. He talked about his time and what he did today, and he said, so if I was on the track, Minister, I'd be that much faster. And so I'm excited for him. I'm excited for all of the participants today, and I'm here at the finish line waiting for the first runner in, and I know that they're coming very, very soon. Yes.
I know you might be a little bit prejudiced, but you like the course from the east better or the course from the west?
I'm prejudiced, so of course the east. Everything great is in the east, but Bermuda Day is great no matter what part of the island it starts from. So thank you. Everybody have a great Bermuda Day.
We've got Lamont Marshall coming in now. He's going to be your champion. Look at his face. He looks in real great shape.
He went through the half, went to 13 miles, and 4:30, and finished the race in 11:30, 1:11:38. And truthfully, that's improved his time by some maybe 1 minute or more. A great run for Lamont Marshall. His third title. As we mentioned earlier in the race, he's joining some greats here. And Mike, he's one behind you, you know, and he's got you.
You got the female, or you stay with him? No. I can go back and get it. That's no problem. Right there. Sharon Johnson, Tony Ryan, Victor Holland, Kenny Castle, and Joe Johnson. I am truly amazed at his oh yes, I always, as an announcer, when you were running, right, there's a hidden fact around the corner, putting in those shoulders when the competition starts shooting, but after that 3 or 4 miles, he didn't have to, if he was so far ground. And you're running in front, you're confident, everything you can do is tackle the short and run for time. So he's definitely doing that, you know. And as he continues to improve his track speed, his word speed will get better as well. I mean, obviously, the endurance factor comes into play in a half marathon, but it didn't look like he was affected at all when it came to having good endurance. The driver certainly said a big role in terms of allowing him to run a pretty good time. And Mike, you know for a fact that he really would like to do extremely well in the steeplechase at the next Olympics. So he's got something in mind here, and from what I've seen today, Lamont Marshall is someone that I've put my money on. It'll be interesting to see how far back the second competitor is. We expect Sean Trott any minute now. If he's remained in that position, Kennedy Graff is certainly up there looking to improve. We see a run at the top of the hill, not exactly sure who it is. It'll be interesting to see whether the places have changed. After this second competitor comes in, we'll certainly want to look for where the leading women are. But looks like Sean Trott, as he's coming down the stretch, no one else with him presently. He looks like he's struggling a bit. Looking terribly there as he comes to 1:14.58. Mike was Larry Marshall, the father of Lamont, and he's next to it, and we're going to just briefly ask Danny, how did he feel about his son's third win? Yeah, playing well for the victory. It was, we were trying to get on the 110, but I think we ran 1:11:46. That's the personal best. But the main thing is he got the third victory, and as you guys indicated throughout the race, that he joined in the lead, which was runner. So all in all, what really is because 24 for me, it's all about the victory. You know, and and this is the first time that it's gone on to one cloud. So I think that going forward, we can work towards getting on to one thing. Yes, 75, 116-14. Just crossing the line in third place. That's a 40% percentage. All right, man. You can look at the characters who want to be contenders in future years, certainly in the top three. That should serve us well. Yeah. More way about a month and a half ago, this guy was he could yes, he's got to get the most improved from easily 75. Oh, I like the way Sam is put together. I mean, he looks like a marathon. He's no bunny back. He's got a smooth style of running. He's just got to go ahead and keep doing the work. Maybe get on the track on a bit more, but certainly it looks like a potential contender in the future.
Yeah, it looks like we got a few minutes before our next group of runners come in.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Listen, the runners are here. The numbers are coming up pretty fast and furious, Mike. Let me just give you a couple of names that are going through. We've got Bruce Sinclair that's going
Tune
through.
back in at 12 minutes.
Cam Mugowski that's going through.
Pause your live feed, tell them tune back in at 15 minutes.
It's unfortunate, I just got to stay live. It's going to be a little while before our next group of runners, so enjoy the atmosphere.
I'm trying to write the numbers down as they come so I can give everybody a little shout out. But that would be good. The triple jump is coming through now.
Fourth runner coming out.
You're trying to fresh shot at this event. There's a little quite comfortable. Alright? And it looks good. It really looks good. A lot of women seem to be really people who want to scale, what can I say? Anyway, I'm going to come back to you. Thank you very much, Mr. Pacer. Who's running number 4 here in the distance? This is Chris Harris. 118.09 on the clock. Officially, this is the official clock now. We moved away from our stopwatches and can see the official clock. 118.18. Is this Chris Harris here? It should be. He's wearing number 5. I can't. The eyes are not
Okay, Mike, we're coming up on Marketplace. Rosa is looking fantastic. Again, there is no one in sight. She's got cars running under it. Get ready, your son should be in about a couple of minutes. He is looking fantastic. The Rod Wilgama is stealing the show today. She's coming over here. Everyone is shouting and cheering for her. She looks great.
That's right.
Quiet here in our park, but we heard you down the lane. One runner out there in the distance. We're trying to get this quick from our sponsor and return here to the finish line at Vermont Park. We'll be back in just a moment.
Worry iPhone equipment? Are going too many?
Bathroom breaks.
Too close to drive home at the end of a long night.
Cocktails.
There are lots of reasons why you shouldn't get behind the wheel. Introducing HomeSafe, Home Security Associates, the island's only car and driver home delivery service. Schedule with us, and our HomeSafe driver will deliver you and your car right to your door. Whatever your reason for not driving, you can always get HomeSafe. That's right. To save pricing and to find out how you can become a member.
But the summer weather will bring out the Brewmaster and barbecue vendors. This special is for you. We're featuring Open Fit barbecue sauce with a wide range of styles and flavors. Open Fit has been developing their impressive product range since the 50s. This month, try their unique thick and tangy and thick and sweet style barbecue sauces. Each one will bring something unique to the grill. Linda's from anyplace else. You are listening to Tiger Joseph Bermuda Furious on 30. By Josh and Mike.
We have a finishing here in 1:20.56. We'll get his number 3:20. 3:29, it looks like, Mike. 3:29.
Yeah, but use the speed. Stop
And
it.
the next one is 3:28. 3:28. And here we go. Sakamochi. He's the Olympian. And we have the African, Kevin Valenzi, also in here. So we have 7 runners who have finished here at the North Park. We'll try to recap very quickly as we see where teams approaching the finish line. We'll have Marshall, the first eventer, 2011 in 1:14.58. Kevin Graff third. We believe one of his best. Oh, is this Chris Harris? Number 5? Yes, Chris Harris. Will be 8. Chris Harris. 1:21.59. Unofficially. And we can see 1 or 2 more runners coming through. We're in a better position now, so we can pick out the numbers. I have 3:17 and 1:22.15. And 3:17, that'll be John Mills, 9th overall. And also number 7, that's Moses Musandeva. And also number 171. And that will be Alex Finch. So we've got the first 11. We were trying to give that to you. We'll just recap. Marshall, 1:11.38. Scott, 1:14.58. McGrath is not first ever top 3 finish. And Mahmoud James Runner in 1:16.14. James O'Shea was slower. 1:18 at a few tips. Spencer Butterfield 5th.
Who was it? Anybody from there? No.
Master Butterfield in 1:20.07. Takamurti, the Winter Olympian, was 6th. Dennis Valensky, the African, was 7th. Chris Harris, 8th, 1:21.59. John Mills, 9th, 1:22. Moses was a Braga, was here number 10. And Alex Finch is 11th. So we've had 11 to finish. And Mike, anybody in sight? I'm sure they'll be lined with the same pretty soon. The atmosphere here is very quiet right now. I would imagine they're running for fun in a resort out there with the coach and family and friends. Trying to fresh out the bit as we approach this finish. We'd like to see how the spectators will do.
While you go.
Okay, we are on Street Avenue, and Rosie is running very well. Someone has put off on a police fight. Maybe a police fight, a female rider, so keep out the fight today. There's nobody in sight nearby the cathedral. She's on her way in, and Donna will bring it in.
157. 197 just completed.
She's smiling, she's comfortable, she's picking up the pace. Rosanna is her day today. No one else is safe.
Rosanna? You know that name? Huh?
We're coming up to Penn Stadium now. So we'll be running the corner, and then we'll be heading into Bernard's Park. And as we said, there's no one in front. She's red in, she's hitting the van, she's doing it all. This is her day today.
Neil does never miss a race, but
Double Bernard Park. And get ready, guys. We're coming into the finish line in a few seconds, really, because Rosanna is picking up and she is moving.
Thank you very much, Alan. Just to call off the student, we're going to finish here. We've had Neil Nelson Clark come in, Jonathan Ball has come in, and we're at 126.73, and two more runners approaching us. And we can see the police lights up here, so that must be with the lead lady and somewhere in your area. You haven't seen the band. So there's another runner coming in, number 389. Might be this guy in. Still 126.62. 183 finishing. Here's that guy.
Hey, have me out there.
Rosanna is heading into the finish line, and she is looking good. Here we come. Female finisher of the 2019 Bermuda Day Marathon. Rosanna White. Looking fantastic.
You're not putting the tape up?
Tape up? Flying out.
Tape. Where's the tape? Where's the tape? Tape. Where's the tape? You need tape? What do you want? It's female.
Wonderful.
First female.
You won!
Second win. 24 on the clock as we see number 32, Freddy Alvira.
Nice to see you. Real quick.
Come on, Linda!
He's a wild wire. 127.58 for Rosanna Hoy. What a good run by Rosanna right there.
You girl Sophie, she's all over the place now. Every time I click on my Instagram,
I had to cancel a shoot. I was doing a shoot. That's supposed to be done like
Right now, she's speaking with but we're speaking with her like we did with Larry Marshall, the father of the royal winner in the openings of today, the Mike Marshall, Larry Marshall Sr. We'll have a chat with her in just a second. But Rosanna Hoy, taking ladies honor in the 110th Day Half Marathon title.
is this a Friday or Saturday?
Dan Price is with you, two other runners, also with you. We can see 181. That's going to be 184. We don't have a run. Are you doing the relays? It's a good run. And 161, also finishing good. We're thank you. So we're going to see Rosanna in the second win. Rosanna.
St. John's! There's a guy passed out on the finish line. I'm gonna be all right.
The second female is coming in.
I'm very lucky to have a really good training group, but always been keeping happy. I enjoyed doing cycling races for the last 2 years, and thought, you know, the last 3 years this race hasn't been won in super fast times, and I'm, you know, I said, you gotta get yourself in the mix there, you want to be part of it. Went to start line today.
You joined some others with 2 wins under the belt. What is in the pipeline for you? Are you looking at any particular event or championship?
This year I'm going for another 50 miler. You know, that's my passion. I love running through the wilderness for a long time, so that's kind of what I'm going to do next.
I don't know how you do it.
Here with May 24th winner, Lamont Marshall. Lamont, how did it feel out there today?
I feel blessed. I thank God for so many years just allowing me to showcase my talents. I'm getting older, but I'm still getting stronger. I was able to defend my title. I'm so grateful for my sponsors, each and every one of them, for financing my athletic endeavors. My family and friends really supported me throughout the entire course. I was pleased with the victory all in all, and my time as my fastest so far. Yes, I was going for sub 110. I went out aggressive and went for it, and I wouldn't change anything. You know, I had to go out. I wanted to really attack the first 5 miles because they was kind of forgiving and flat the first 3. Coming over Francis Patton, I know I was still on time for sub 110. I might have started to fade after flats, but I mean, at that point, I just didn't want to sort of like totally sort of die on. So as long as I maintained a halfway decent pace to secure the victory, I was pleased. So overall this season, this is a great way to cap it off. I had 2 national records in 5 and 15K. Win May 24th and defend my title out of the East and West. Overall, a great season for me.
I think you might be the first person to win East and West since they've gone to that format.
And like I said earlier, great job to the committee. I think they've done everything right. I've seen the website. It's second to none. It's a really good website. It's got all the information there. They've taken the initiative to bump up the prize money. Both courses are certified. It's very traditional and cultural coming out of both the East and West. And like you said, now being the first person to double up coming from both ends, it's a special day for me.
Of your 3 victories that you've had, which one is the most meaningful to you?
This was the most comfortable. I was under a lot of stress and pressure in 2016 because I had never won the race. I felt comfortable, relatively speaking, the whole way. My deer died on, and I wasn't able to maintain my pace. But it was definitely, I felt like as if I ran within myself. I don't think I could have really run too much faster if someone was pushing me. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, it's mind over matter. But overall, I would definitely say to win it the 3rd time is the more special for me.
How difficult is it to keep concentrating when you make a break from everybody else and you've lost contact with them, to keep concentrating and strive for your goal?
You don't want any mental lapses. Like you said, you don't want to start micing and go from like, you know, a 5:30 to a 6:30 mile. My main goal was not to dwell on my watch. A few of those miles, I was looking at my watch every mile, a few of them every other mile, just to get in a rhythm and run how I felt, as opposed to panic and say, oh, well, I'm losing time, so panic and start, you know, rushing in, cramp up, or, you know, really died on. So overall, I think I maintained concentration pretty good as I could.
Now with 3 victories, you move up the echelon of May 24th winners. How does that feel to join an elite company of runners?
It's everything. I mean, everything. I've always looked to be a record breaker. Each and every year on the track and on the roads, I try to break records, and many of them are now my own national records. So to say that I won it back to back and now my 3rd time, it's only a small amount of athletes. Bermuda's greats, Bermuda's legends that have done it. So I'm glad to join that history book as well.
On the course from the east, what's the toughest part of it?
I would say coming up past Devonshire Church, because it's where it's placed. I mean, you've been running for me, I think almost an hour, and it's not so much as how it's a steady incline, but you've been running for so long. It's one thing. Burnt House is maybe mile 6 or 7. This comes at like mile 9 or 10, so it's later in the race. And it's tough because it breaks your rhythm. It's not all incline, it levels up and then goes back up. So that's definitely was the most challenging course for me.
I know this course, a lot of people seem to think it's a little bit easier because it doesn't have Burnt House Hill and the other conditions. Do you think this one is easier than running Somerset?
When I say easy, I mean marginally. I mean, I don't think any course, maybe International Race Weekend that's a pretty decent course, but I would say out of the East is marginally easier, but not easy, if that makes sense.
Because this race has been run so few times, is there a challenge in the fact that there's not a lot of history on this side of it?
It's May 24th at the end of the day. The crowd was awesome. My main goal today was just to retain and defend my title. So things like that, no, I think that it's no matter where you run May 24th, it's history. I mean, this is the 110th year. I personally can't tell you another race in the world that's been run 110 times. So the history of it is there.
How special is it every year when you run by the family camp there on Cedar Avenue, and this year they had shirts with your photo on it? Is that a boost, or how do you feel when you go by your family?
I mean, it's definitely a incredible feeling just to know that you have family, friends, fans, supporters that wake up well before the race. They secure the site. I mean, I know my Aunt Sharon's been there on Cedar Avenue for almost over 30 years. They have banners, T-shirts. It's like you just said, it's so special. It's nothing. No other race you're going to get this. It's never going to be anything to top it, and I can't even explain it. You can only see how it feels on camera.
Now, you came here, and you're in the Bernard Park, and a lot of the junior runners who ran the Heritage Day Classic are coming up. They're wanting to take photos with you. They're wanting to do videos with you. How does that make you feel like they look up to you?
To look at me as a role model is so special. I believe it was on Tuesday. I was a part of the Purvis Primary School. They had an assembly, and it was based on Bermudians of excellence. And I was just touched, man. If I can inspire somebody and be a role model, I mean, that's extremely good for me. I want to see the sport grow. So if I can help and give just encouragement, I don't really like to give advice because I'm not their coach. I remember how that felt, older guys sort of being overbearing and giving advice. So I just want to give encouragement to each and every one of them that participated, that have the lust and the energy to run. Just continue to do it. I mean, sky's the limit in this sport.
The last question, I'll let you go and celebrate with the rest of your family. The kids are now looking up to you as the hero, but when you were their age, who was your race hero?
It's hard to say because whoever won May 24th was always my hero. So it was never one. I remember young, when Tracy Wright was winning it, Kevin, of course, Mike Watson. So I never really attached myself to one person. It was always the winner. Like everybody likes to see a winner, and that was always it for me. So that's how I know how it is as a young person going up to the winner. And now in this social media and technological, it's all, like you said, pictures and videos. And I love it, just to share so they can share the videos and be encouraged. 20, 30 years from now, when they're winning the race, they can look back and say, look, I had a picture with Lamont Marshall.
So yeah, you can fans can Google it or hashtag it and see Lamont Marshall, and they'll probably see lots of photos and things. Congratulations again, Lamont. We're going to speak with Sean Trott now. Sean was second in the race today. We've made him wait a long time to get here. Now, first of all, Sean, congratulations on finishing second. How did you find the race today?
I found it to be very good. Actually, it was kind of like an up and down roller coaster race, to be honest, because starting out it felt a little bit flat, started to feel good, and then Chase Smith managed to come alongside me. We were running together for a bit, and we were just kind of feeding off of each other, and then just when I started to feel pretty good, he fell off, so I was like, okay, I'm on my own. and then just kind of stuck it out to the end. And I went through another rough patch, but then at the very last 3 miles, I managed to hit a good patch in town and finish strong.
What's your favorite part and least favorite part of the course from the east?
Favorite part is definitely Front Street and Cedar Avenue, just all of town. I mean, the support is amazing in Hamilton, just with the people coming out in the street and screaming your name. Least favorite part probably would be the big hill down in Devonshire from Island Construction up to the Arboretum, that long climb. It hurt really bad, to be honest.
Lamont was commenting about that, and he was saying that at least with Burton House Hill, it's earlier in the race, whereas this was 3 miles less. So how much of a difference does that make?
Much big of a difference, because I mean, to have a hill that big that late, you're already running on much more tired legs than you would at the point you hit Burnt House. So it almost takes everything out of you. So I made sure to time like a specific a drink, like a sugar beverage around that time, just to make sure I got some energy back after it.
You've come second this year. What are your chances of moving up one spot?
So just as I was saying to the other guys, last year was 119, this year was 114, so I managed to take 4 or 5 minutes off. And where I find myself now is where I saw Lamont last year, so I think I'm just applying the pressure still, and definitely still feeling like I have momentum moving forward, and I like to keep applying pressure until something happens, you know.
Now, I'd be a little bit remiss. You're one of several runners today that are wearing the Carifta jersey for 2020. Why is this important to you?
Because I was a former participant myself, and definitely came up through the national program with Donna Rayner, and to be able to represent for them today just means a lot to me, as being as they got me to where I am today.
I think you probably fell in between the previous times Bermuda hosted the...
Right, yes, I never got to do it here. It's always in the other parts of the Caribbean, Turks and Caicos, St. Kitts, and St. Lucia.
From the previous ones, what sort of atmosphere comes up when we host Carifta here?
For goodness, running in Carifta, it's a similar kind of atmosphere to May 24th. The crowds, they're banging drums and cymbals and anything they can get their hands on, and the noise is just amazing. So it's a great atmosphere.
You want to give a final shout out to anybody today, or give praise to anything?
So definitely my wife, of course, as she put up with me for all these long months of training and not being around always, and definitely praise to the Lord, I mean, for giving me all the tools that I need for today to get me to where I am healthy.
Congratulations, Sean. Rest up for the rest of the day.
Right, well done there. Relay and just finished. So well done to those guys. There's a little bit of music. Maybe one more time from Carol Simon here with you, Carol. This is Andrew Russell here. All right, Big Scott. And they're looking pretty good there now. We're still here, and we're trying to cheer them in the here. But every weekend, the brothers are down here playing all the way out. That's what that means, right? Thank you very much for your participation. We're still coming in with you, 505. The young lady, 168 is also off the road, and that's Diallo Ciendico. 250, also 20, like Luke Callan. They're coming in quick here. Number 260 is finishing. Mark Kingerman. Well done. Also number 140 is finished. Anton Joey Bushon. And who's this in the distance? Oh boy, the eyes are not what they used to be. 494 is finishing here, Mike. 494. Well done. For that particular runner. Coming in quick here. We went to very end at 580 starting line. And there was some 80. Really becoming popular. Runners who feel that they can't make the whole 13.1 mile course often being up with some friends and maybe run 2 or 3 miles each. And the new leader is really becoming big here. Now, I think it's time for us to Mike is really been riding all the fast and ladies while I was running them out here. But I've got the men's side. So let's take a word from our sponsors and come back to a recap some of the top performances today.
JBM Realty and Associates services all your real estate needs. Our agents have years of real estate experience specializing in selling the properties, renting the properties, property management, vacation rentals. So whether you're looking to move to another location, selling your home, purchasing a new home, or a landlord looking for assistance in managing your property, give us a call today. One of our experienced agents will be willing to housing needs. Call us on 234-2050. Or visit our website.
Keep going, keep walking.
Blurry-eyed following your eye appointment? Had one too many? Or simply too tired to face the drive home at the end of a long night? There are lots of reasons why you couldn't and shouldn't come behind the wheel. Introducing HomeSafe from Security Associates. The island's only
We're here with Roseanne Hoyt, who has picked up her second May 24th victory. How did it feel out there?
You know, it's never an easy race. The people of Bermuda were fantastic as usual. The conditions were quite favourable earlier on, but as we went on with the race, it did warm up a little bit. So this race always throws a challenge at you.
How many times have you run from St. George's?
Just the once before you. No, once before this. Sorry.
A lot of I spoke with Sean and Lamont, and they were both talking about the hill at Devonshire as being tough. How did you find it today?
I found it pretty tough, but somebody had told me then I had a really big lead, so I was just like, let's enjoy this. I can take it a bit easier up the hill and then relax into town.
Your preparation for this race, how did you take this differently than the last few races that you've done May 24th?
I didn't actually have the training block that I would have liked. I was quite sick with flu earlier on in the year. I had a little bit of pneumonia, so that kind of hampered my training. I didn't get to build the way I liked to. I feel a few weeks behind, and when I was coming in today, I said I feel like I need a few more weeks training, but obviously I didn't, so everything worked out okay.
When did you sort of make your break away from the rest of the pack, and you knew that you were out front and leading?
I think at the start, really, I knew I was going to go out in sub 20-minute 5K because it's quite flat and downhill, and I kind of thought that if anybody stayed with me then we could have a little challenge, but I just tried to relax into it.
Because the beginning's so flat, does that mean that you can be a lot more aggressive or take a more aggressive approach to try to win?
Yeah, this race is more of an effort-based race rather than a pace-based race, because if you try to hold an even pace, it's kind of counterintuitive. You're downhill for the first few. You want to sort of run within yourself and try not to get into the red.
How would you compare this victory to the one that you last had?
To be honest, this is really, really special. It's probably more special. You know, on mile 5 I wasn't feeling great, and I said I'll make it on through to mile 8, and at the top of the hill at mile 8 was my beautiful son Matthew, and you know, that just lifted me so much, and it really brought me through to the finish line.
When you saw him at mile 8, because that's about where the hill is at Devonshire as well.
That's about mile 10.
Yeah, mile 10? Yeah, okay. So you saw him, your steps get lighter, or?
It just lifted me. It just really just put a big smile on my face, and I was like, I'm really going to try and enjoy the rest of this, because you know what, you never know when this is going to happen again. You know, I may not be able to run next year, or another year, or the next year. So you know, it's such a special race, and I really want to enjoy the end of it.
For you, what's the best part of running the race besides the winning?
the people of Bermuda. They really lit up the roads today. They all gave me a massive cheer. You know, some of the guys I was running with at some stage said, everyone's cheering for the lady and not them. But yeah, it was really the people of Bermuda. And you know what, I've got really great running mates. There was a few guys who I ran with earlier on in the race, particularly when I mentioned Andrew Simons. Like, I was struggling around mile 5 and he just said to me, Rosie, don't get in the red. And that was the best advice I could have had. If I had to push myself a bit too much then, who knows what might have happened.
Now, a lot of people concentrate on you and the rest of the runners winning. How do you spend the rest of today?
The rest of the day, we're going to go for a bit of a swim, I think. If the sun comes out, we're going to go outside. And actually, I think the second and third place females, Dion and Martina, are going to come around for a glass of wine later on, so we'll enjoy that.
So it's a friendly rivalry then?
Absolutely, 100% friendly rivalry. Martina and Dion are two of my training buddies, and I couldn't be more pleased than to share the podium with them.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Happy Bermuda Day.
Happy Bermuda Day.
Ambulance this year not so much fun, right? You can look to our left. I don't see too much activity in the St. John's. That's and through the line is 166, young lady.
We're here with Dion Brewery. Dion, you finished third out there today. What goals did you have set for yourself at the start of the race?
My goal today was top 3, so I came in third, so I'm happy with my performance today.
Did you have a specific time to go around with your performance?
I was looking for 130, 131, but I think at the beginning I got a bit too excited and going over the hills, that really got to me.
Because the first part of the course is very flat, is there a tendency for some people maybe to try to go out too fast?
Yeah, it's very flat, so my plan was to go out a little bit fast, but I don't think it worked out for me.
For you to share the podium with two people that you run with all the time, what does that mean to you?
That means a lot because those are my training partner, Rosanna, Martina. We do a lot of tempo runs together, a lot of speed work, so very pleased, and I'm very happy for Rosanna and happy for Martina. They did awesome.
Rosanna was talking about possibly that you guys are all coming over for a drink later today just to celebrate together.
Yes, we be going over to Rosanna's house, to have a couple of glasses of wine just to celebrate because we've been training really hard together,
How do you think that exemplifies the Bermudian experience of we can go out, we can compete, but then we're all friends afterwards?
When it comes to running, we know what it's like. It's about business. I don't think it's any jealousy or anything like that, and Rosanna and I were very close.
All right, congratulations, Dion.
Thank you.
Go enjoy the rest of your day and your wine.
Thank you. That was okay, right?
Number 211 finishing. They've come through. Number 98 is also finished. And that goes to Zachary Hammer. Well done, Zachary. This could be the first junior figure finishing in 1:53.13. I would say that she would really be one of our contenders at 800 this year, but she looks like she's
Take it right up into 2 hours.
11 o'clock. We can see 301. It's also 7 in here. And there's Andrew McGarry and Bruce Ray Hill as well. And that's going to be Alan Moore. I mean, you can sit here and this one looks familiar to me. Is that Travator? Travator.
Here with Martina Olszewski-Bell. Did I get that right?
Got that right. Good job. It's tough one.
Normally I butcher names like more consonants and vowels and that sort of thing. Second place today. How did you feel out there, and what was your goal?
Yeah, I felt great. The last time I did this was 2 years ago, and it was second place overall 2 years ago, and I was 6 minutes fastest here. So I'm very pleased with my time. I mean, it's not an easy course, so I can't expect personal best half marathon time. But with that race, that course, I was really pleased.
What do you think made the difference this time than the last time you ran it?
Not sure. I guess I'm just fitter. I mean, trained harder.
So what's your training regimen like?
It's pretty random. I probably train about 6 days a week. I don't follow a set schedule. I mean, I was traveling last week with work, so kind of throw in what I can. I mean, I love running, and I'll run as much as I can.
For you to run this race, what does it mean being here, taking part in the biggest race of the year?
Yeah, I've just loved it. I mean, there's so much support all along the way. The crowd's cheering, "Go second place, girl! Go Martina! Go number 23!" It was just, you don't get bored at all. It's when it's on the same roads I run in every day. It's just so invigorating. The crowds, everyone's just so supportive, and it's just such a fun event. I wouldn't miss it for anything.
When did you lose sight of Rosanna today?
From the get-go. I probably mile 2, but I had to my sights a bit longer, and then about mile 8, I kind of just decided I was going to power through and just put my head down and start going.
Because this race is so much different than from the East End, how do you change and adapt your strategy?
I don't really have much of a strategy. I tend to just start out quite slow and I build as it is. It's not even a strategy. It's just my body takes forever to warm up. I did a marathon back in October, so I'm more into the longer distances. So it takes a while to kind of get into that rhythm. But I not go out too fast basically because it's so flat at the beginning. So you can get ahead of yourself and think I can do. I start off with the 6:30 a minute mile and then can't sustain it going up. The hills and whatnot.
What do you think your chances are in the years ahead that you can move up one more spot on the podium?
I've been 2 years ago I was second place. Last year I was third place. This year I'm second place. So one of these years I definitely want to take it. It's next year, maybe, hopefully before I'm 40. That's my goal. That is the goal.
What would it mean to you to win it?
It'd be amazing. I mean, it's just such an honor, right? It's such an amazing race, right? And it's got such a history. One of these years.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, so just before we sign off, we're going to have 60 seconds before we sign off. If they're coming through fast and furious, 9.2 hours, some 800 or so runners started the start line today. The Bermuda Day Marathon coming out of St. George. I'm so happy that CNN has been able to bring you live coverage of this race as we say happy Bermuda Day to all. Around the world. Now, thank you to all my friends, family, my supporters, for supporting me in this venture. We do have a happy Bermuda Day, and we will pick it back up at 1:30. The Bermuda Day Parade. Join.
I think my elbow back to me number 3. Is it 29? 329. Let's see if we can get his number. Yeah, Willie Russo. He's a slow little runner, but he's always out there fighting, and he's always finishing. Well done, Louis. 159 is finishing as well. And that will be
I did that again.
Andrew Echo. They're coming in quick now. I can't get over it. I mean, somebody must have been really trained over the last time. I haven't seen working conditions like this. Because I'm really like sweating, gasping, and needing water. This is real, the commentator. And I really start for the runners. I totally insist. Every time you have a big year, it's very hot, it's always followed by a little time of year. It's really cool. And certainly the runners can start from this cycle of runners. So we've got runners coming in there. With 581
See you, Miss Rogers. Say hi to Daddy. Say hi to Daddy. She came in a while.
And they are coming in back. So let's take a little more closer and maybe back with more, a little bit more than the finish line of the Bermuda Day Half Marathon.
It's almost that time of year again, barbecue season. For some, it never really went away. But the summer weather will bring out the grill master and barbecue leaders island-wide.
So join 10 minutes.
For you. We're featuring Ocean Cook barbecue sauce with a wide range of styles and flavors. Come on, Brittany! Yes,
all right. Let me sign off before I get assaulted. Yeah, thanks for joining us and pick us up at the Bermuda Day Parade at 1:30. You have a good rest of this morning.
We are back there at the finish line at about 2 hours, 2 minutes, 57 seconds. And that will be Jasmine Blair Majors.
Yes, Ryan! Ryan, you made it, Ryan! Yes! Ryan running race. I saw him 1 year. Ryan gave me a pretty good one, right? Ryan gave me a pretty good He gave me a pretty good one. They need to learn that they take this thing for granted. Yeah, you made him better for somebody else. You know how to wake up, right? They tell you how to wake up, they don't wake up.
Well, if they didn't,
I'm telling you, yeah. It is true. Yeah, you get away from here. Right, Anderson, Brother Kevin. Right, well done. Yes. Remember the thing? I thought you didn't miss the comeback. And then you take in the backyard. Hit it! Hey! Wait, work that cramp out. Wait, work that cramp out.
And to see him really come back and run this race in a pretty good time was definitely inspiring. So, one up to you, Kevin Anderson. We see a lot of the videos being finishing here. And also, number 94. And will be... And that will be Roderick Newman. That's a good run by him, number 62. Also finishing Rashad Berkeley. Good run from Rashad. 2:53 on the clock. And number 31, Jamal Holden having a good run. And 4:33 coming in. Looking strong. Yes. Good running. 368 coming through. Go off whenever the guys but he looks good coming to the line. Coming through, 207, 164. Amber Harrington looking good. She looks quite fresh. All these people guys have a very conservative look. And more pitches in line, they're all coming back. Just behind him, Olivia, and Elizabeth just another one who's getting a lot of coverage with his back in the back. And has recovered back out here, doing very well. It's nice to see these people who are there, Madison Farmers and Will, and really get full recovery to the point where they can run a half marathon. And here's the lady we mentioned earlier, number 40. And yeah, but what's the name? Nicole Anita, she's made it better. We gave him another number for somebody to pick us up. 208.54 is the final time. Number 230 also finishing here tonight. 230, that's Grant Howard. And we got 519. Oh, you gotta pay me something? You gotta just hand this, write it down on the back. Another one looking like she has certainly worked quite hard. So I'm sure she has, but some of these like certainly are in good shape. I was trying to search for Evans' run. He was up, I believe, in the top 15 area. Just thinking back like. That's the Charles, Freddie and Gina Evans. Gina is running herself back to the day. And come to the line, I was sure be back there. Actually, you beat him, did you? get trapped out. You got a mascot going on here. Oh man, that's a tough way to go. Can you imagine? He's so close. Look at another name. Yeah, 163.
Yeah, he's going to need number. Yeah, so put David.
191.
There was something, yeah, somebody made a mistake.
Yeah, I know. I figured it out.
And that will be July 18th. Well done. And the ladies are coming. Look at this running together. A lot of the ladies have joined forces here before. You can't people get out 7 yesterday, and now there's people get out 3 of them. Yeah, really too fast to make it. That's what's happening. The finish flag is coming in, and the other 3 members of the team have been doing it. They're working in 3 or 4 coming across the line at one time. There we go. I got it now. I saw her leave for Jordan this morning, and she's finally making it. And we see who she is on the list. Russell Sibley for the line. No doubt. Please. There, Mike.
I say that for my team.
73, also posting there. 33. Looking good. That's the great 61 that's Eddie Benjamin. Certainly a regular in local races. And you look at the distance, you see who else is coming. 230, 337. Yeah, 337. Yeah. He looks like he's got a good deal. He looks a good fence.